What is going on, everyone? Welcome to Classy Tacos. As always, thanks for stopping by. So today, prep for Moab has begun. We're going to be installing some RotoPax, but as usual, I wanted to look, feel, and be a certain way, and it is going to be a little bit of extra work, but I think we got this. I did a little test fitting on Wednesday, a little bit before work. So let me put these photos up here for you so you can kind of see what I'm going for. So what I actually purchased was two 2-gallon RotoPax. Then I picked up 2 of their lockable mounts because I want to lock them in place. And then I also picked up a set of heavy-duty T-slot nuts. They slide into the T-slot on the bed rail. Because the goal for me is to mount the upper mount on the bed rail, the lower mount on the molly. And that way it gets them right where I want them. If you can tell by this test fit right here, what I want to do is be able to have it as pushed up as high as I can, up against kind of the back of the cab, like the top part of the bed. And that way too, I should be able to fill that one up, at least the driver's side, without taking it off. So I can kind of fill the driver while it's in place there. A little bit about the RotoPax. The ones I bought are just the standard kind of RotoPax. They have another kind called the Fuel Packs. These are 2-gallon RotoPax. The main difference between these and say the Fuel Packs is these are much stronger, but they're a lot more heavy duty. The Fuel Packs are more along the lines of like a plastic kind of gas can. So they're not as heavy duty. I don't think they could take the beating that these will. Also with the Fuel Packs, they don't have the ability to lock in place. So these have I don't want to say a mechanism, but there's a way to lock them in place. Sometimes you'll see like a red and a white kind of butted up against each other. They kind of twist in and they lock. And that's like a gas and a water. A lot of people like to run them locked like that together on their bed rack. So I don't have a bed rack. I also feel like some of the bed racks I've seen, when you put them on the side, it kind of pushes them past the cab. And I feel like my trails are a little too tight here. They're going to get hung up on a lot of stuff. So that's why I want to put them right there, like where you saw with the test fit. So it's inside the bed, not going to get hooked up on anything. I definitely was impressed with, aside from the thickness, and they do seem well made. The locking mechanism here is interesting. It's just like geared teeth that you have to push this little tab down for it to open. And then just so everybody knows, you do get a spout in here. This is a lockable spout, so you push down, slide it over, and you stick it in. And then inside here, there's a plastic filter, which I thought was really cool too. Didn't know anything about that. That way it'll catch any type of big debris, so it won't get in your gas. Once that's back, if you listen, you'll hear like the teeth kind of clicking. That's how you just go until you can't anymore, and it's locked. It's not going to come back until you release the mechanism, which is interesting. All right, so one thing I wanted to say before we jump into getting this done, because it's going to take a little bit of fab work into the mount. We have a new sticker on the cabinets of fame. That's right here. That's Wide Open Overland. If you have a chance, go check out his IG. Super nice guy. We just went on a trail ride where we picked up the garbage. So if you saw my recent post with the recliner in the bed where I was like having fun with myself about overlanding with the recliner, that was a trail ride where we went out to Citrus and picked up a bunch of garbage. Super nice guy. Just make sure to check out his IG. And if for any chance you want to be on the Cabinets of Fame, just hit me up at YoClassy@Yahoo. Again, that's YoClassy@Yahoo. Let me know, hey, I want to put my stickers on the Cabinets of Fame. I'll let you know where to send them. We'll throw you up there, all right? All right, that said, let's get you in the bed so you can see what I'm doing. All right, so here's an idea. I just wrapped up the driver's side. I'm gonna walk you through how to do it on the passenger side, but there's an idea of what it looks like. So you can see it coming this way. It's kind of tight. So if you notice, it's at like a little bit of an angle, kind of leaning this way. And it has to do with, if you notice my molly, you see how the molly system kind of shoots off this way? I have a feeling it's because it's so tight up against the back, but I'm fine with it. It's important that you do your best. It ends up perfect so that it rests on the hump of the wheel well, which is perfect, man, because these things get a little heavy. So it being on this kind of helps it a lot, and it's not going to let it sag. So if you come this way, on this side of the truck is what you see. I would have wanted it as tight as I could here, but I have my at the helm front bed tie down kind of system set up right here, so it stops it to right there. Also with my air chucks here, up against here, it might just be a little too tight. So this actually isn't bad. And it's at this one, for sure, I can fill up right here without removing it, which is nice. And then also I can still reach it from right in here to unlock it if I need to. So I don't have to get in the bed to unlock it. So since I know what I have to do to this mount, we're gonna go mod the mount real quick, just so that we can get it in there, all right? Let me set you up on the vise. Okay, so I have the base sitting in the vise because we're going to open up these two holes so that they can accommodate these extremely large nuts for the T-slots, right? So this is the upper mount that's going into the bed rail. It's important, let me do it like this. So it's important for you to understand, depending on how you're going to mount this, okay? You're just going to want to set up the base so you cut the right holes. So depending on how you're going to run the RotoPax, the slot inside of the RotoPax is only one direction, right? So if you're going to mount them horizontal, the slot's going to be in one direction. If you're going to mount them vertical, it's going to be in a different direction. So with the mounting plate, you just want to make sure you drill the holes that you need for how you want to mount it. So I'm going to have to mount it. Mine are going to be mounted horizontal. So my mount is going straight up and down, right? So if you see the mounting holes for here, for the actual RotoPax are here and, in the vise. And then these are the ones that are going to mount into the bed rail. So it just kind of depends on, it's important that you set it up for how you want to do it. All right, so here's what I was trying to explain before. You see the slot? If you lay it horizontal, this is going to be your mount behind it. This has to sit like this, right? That's why I drilled those two top holes. You lay it vertical, you can't have your mount like this. You're going to have to mount like this, so you would want to drill different holes. So all of that depends on how this slot lines up with where you want to put it. So let me get you set up on the bed rail here so that we can start sliding in everything and get it done that way. So before we mount the actual locking mount to the base, it's important the base is indented here so that you can put the screws in this way, and then the screws will sit flush, all right? And then it mounts like this, all right? Now, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put a little bit of blue Loctite on these. So just nice and easy, a little insurance, nothing crazy, just like that. Perfect. I'm gonna put them through here, just like that. All right, cool. So now we ensure that, we have our holes that we just drilled in the right place. I'm going to remove this. So also for these, I'm going to put some blue Loctite. Just make sure that we have the mount going in the way we want. Let's get a 1 in first. So I don't want to make it too tight yet because I want to be able to push it around. So I want to, get this in there, and that's what I like, how tight that is. You can kind of see how tight it is on the hump in the wheel well, which is what we want because you don't want it to kind of sag. This will help it from sagging, right? And what I'm gonna do is just kind of see if it'll let me push it like as much as I can that way. I would say I feel like I like it right about there. It's very close to the one on the other side. The locking mechanism here might not let it slide as much forward because it's different on this side. But I like where it is right here. So all I'm going to do is just push this out and go ahead and tighten this down right here. Like, it's not going anywhere. So now we have this set up. I have it right where I want it. I can also confirm with you that the keys do not work on either side. So each lock has its own key. So I'm going to have to carry 2 keys. So remember that if you buy locks or you're buying more than one of these locking mechanisms, the keys aren't going to work for each side. And then I know I might get a lot of hate for this, but here's my thought process on this, okay? I'm going to run just some zip ties on the bottom. One, this isn't going anywhere. 2, if for any reason I need to move this, right? The way that their hardware works is you're putting a carriage bolt through here and then a nylon lock in the back. As you can imagine right now, getting the nylon lock in here is going to be a pain, right? I'm kind of thinking forward here. If I need to move this with these nylon locks in here, it just to get them in right now, I'd have to take everything apart. But if I need to move this, essentially I would just be cutting the zip ties, unscrewing here a little bit and sliding the whole thing down versus trying to get these off of here, which are going to be permanently mounted behind this rack. So I know, you know, a lot of people don't like the zip tie use, but we're going to do what we got to do. I don't see it hurting this, and I just kind of see it making it a little easier in the future if I need to move anything around. Awesome. All right, let's see how this fits. Tight. Like that. Yeah, so this one's just a tiny little bit lower. Let me open this up a little bit more. Perfect. So heads up, over here on the passenger side, I don't know if my railing might have been just a little bit lower than the driver, so it's a little bit more difficult to get this one in. It's pushed up against the tub a little harder, which I don't mind. It was just much more difficult to get in. That's where we're at. Locked in, nice and tight. We get us all cleaned up here, and I'll give you a quick walk around on what it looks like. All right, just like that. Cans are mounted. Not too bad. I'm not too worried about them really because they're sitting on the top of the wheel well. I would be a little bit more worried about them if they were just kind of hanging there and not sitting on anything. I definitely wouldn't have used the zip ties. I would have figured out a way to take everything up off and stack it up. But like I said, it's just easier if I need to slide them back or I need to get it to any space back in there. I want to be able to release them and slide back without having to take everything off. So it's kind of how I had to set this up. And then I think this one would definitely be okay for me to fill up. Obviously, I know you're not supposed to like lower them on the ground and do all that, but if I'm gonna rush, I would be okay with filling this one up. That one I might have to take off, or if I can, reach it over there, we can still fill that one up. Which is why I didn't point this, to the front, kept them to the back so that I can fill them up if I need to. Here's just a quick little walk around of what they look like at different angles, so you can kind of see. We get you like right level, so you can see how much it sticks up. I'm gonna guess this is like 4 inches, maybe. Perfect. And going this way, kind of straight from the back is how you'll see just the little tips there hanging up, and then flush right there. Okay. Come this way. Perfect. And then kind of side shot. So I can get you the whole truck here, side shot. There you go. And that way you'll kind of see what they look like there. So as usual, hey, I just appreciate you guys. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions for me, make sure to drop them down below. I am impressed. I do like them. I think they're going to work well. I don't plan on running it like this all the time. I might just set it up like this, kind of how I have my cases right now. Just kind of prepping for Utah. I want to see how they last and how they do up there, dealing with gas and wind noise because we have a long drive. So I'm going to leave them like this. I'll be honest with you, I'm probably going to leave them empty until we get there. But I just want to see how they hold up and how they bounce around and move around for me. So if you need anything or you have any questions, please drop it down below. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe. And if you want to get on the Cabinets of Fame, send me an email over to yoclassy@yahoo. And I'll let you know where to send them to, all right? You guys be good. Stay safe out there. Thanks for watching.